Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got something new to show you today. This is the KSUN M3 miniature PMR radio covering 400 to 470 megahertz. Now I got these shipped over from AliExpress in China, just $45 including shipping, and it took about 10 days to arrive to the UK, so I thought it was a pretty good performance really from China. Quite impressed really. As you can see, the radios are sort of deep kind of blue colour. I thought they were going to be black when I ordered them online. There was a colour choice of white or black, and there was an M1, an M2 and an M3. Now the main differences between those three radios is the M1 doesn't have the display and it's a little bit smaller in dimensions and puts out 6 watts allegedly. The M2 looks very much like this M3 that we've got in front of us today, but has a smaller battery pack, slightly smaller dimensions, and also has 6 watts output. But this one, the top of the range model, is supposed to do 8 watts power output. Now I'm quite skeptical about it being 8 watts with it being China and everything, and of course it's a fixed antenna, looks very small, doesn't look like you could actually throw 8 watts of power through it. But that aside, we're going to take a little look at these radios and see what we think of them today. So very small indeed, very nice little design. They don't claim to be waterproof or anything. They're very tiny though. You can pop them in your pocket. They come with a belt clip already assembled. But one of the most fascinating features on this radio that I haven't seen previously is a USB Type-C port on these. And they actually come with a USB Type-C power lead and also a standard USB charger in the box. So that could be kind of interesting to have a look at anyway. Having charged these up, they take about 2 hours to fully charge. So pretty fast charging. And there's also a jack on the side of the radio that lets you use the hands-free kit provided. Now I'm pretty sure as it's a standard 3.5mm jack plug, there could be other hands-free solutions that actually work with these radios too, but we'll have to investigate that one afterwards. But USB Type-C is pretty much a first for a radio that I've seen anyway, of this kind anyway. So I'll show you what's in the box in a second, but I just want to show you one thing before we get started. These radios are loud. They have a good speaker in them, but when you first turn them on, they always come on at max volume and they have a really loud, irritating beep. And also, by default, they also have an English voice programmed in as well. So check this out.
Power on.
So the first time I turned one of these on, I nearly jumped out my skin in the kitchen when I opened the parcel.
8.
They also have voice annunciations for all the channels. Now these are only 16 channels, but they do cover 400 to 470 megahertz. One of the downsides though is that you don't get a programming lead in the box. You've got to message the seller if you want to actually get these things programmed. By default they come shipped with a load of random frequencies that are probably going to cause interference to a number of legitimate services no matter where you live in the world. Certainly I looked into this, and when I first got the radios I used a frequency counter to see where they were transmitting, and there was all sorts of frequencies programmed in from 410 up to 454 megahertz. So certainly nothing that we'd want to be transmitting on inside the UK, as we'd probably cause interference to some PMR services and possibly military as well. So you certainly want to be careful with these and do the right thing and order the programming cable at the same time, which we'll talk about a bit later on. So that aside, radio looks very nice. It's quite well constructed, very slim. To give you some idea the size of the thing, there's my mobile phone, Google Pixel 4 XL, right next to the phone. As you can see, much smaller than the average mobile phone these days. And the other thing I really liked about this radio is it's got the dot matrix LED display. Now it's pretty difficult to see outside on the camera, but if I just press the middle key, which acts as the function key for a lot of things,
8.
I don't know if you guys can see that there, it's flashing 8 on the display.
VOX.
And we'll just press it one more time, there we go. So I've selected channel 8, can you see that on the LED display? Sure hope so. It's quite a pleasant type of display. I've not seen one like it before on a radio. Very fine LED white dot matrix display. And to cycle through the channels, all you do is you just press down the center key and then just press the arrows.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1.
So yeah, you get the idea. And you can either press the PTT to confirm the channel selection or press the middle key. So volume control, just press the arrow keys up or down, and the first thing you're going to want to do is turn the volume down to a reasonable level, maybe 2 or 3. But no matter what you do, when you actually reset the radio or turn it off, it always comes back on full volume. So that's something to watch out for. With regard to what's in the box, I'll unpack one and I'll show you there. So you get the user guide, which is actually surprisingly in good English, so no problems at all with that. Doesn't tell you very much, it's only a folded sheet of paper really. Shows some of the accessories available. Apparently there's a 6-port charger. Underneath the radio there is actually some charge slots that can sit in a drop-in charger. And there's also a desktop charger available apparently. UK adapter, which I didn't get despite being in the UK. I got an adapter, which is this thing that comes in the box that I'm probably never going to use. And also a 1 amp per hour slow USB charger, which, you know, is a bonus if you haven't got one, but to be honest, your average mobile phone charger would probably be better for one of those anyway. So there's some of the things that it shows in the box. And most importantly, the USB-C power cable, which you can plug into any standard USB power source, be it a laptop or your standard phone charger or a multi-way USB charger. Probably be better than using the one that comes in the box, but USB-C anyway, it's got to be commended. You also get a hands-free mic and earpiece, which is pretty much standard. It's the one that goes over the ear. And to trigger the PTT, it's got a little silver button on the side of the cable there, which you can clip on as well, which is kind of useful. One of the things I did find with the radio though is, although it's got a Vox function, this particular headset didn't seem to want to trigger the Vox at all, even when connected. I had to press the button down manually, so that could be a bit of a stumbling block for some people. So the radio claims to be 8 watts power output, which I'm very skeptical of. Inside the book, in the user guide here, we can see it actually says 3 watts, 2 watts and 0.5 watts. I'm more likely to believe it's somewhere around the 2 watt region. Now what I've done with these is, I actually got in touch with the seller because I couldn't find the USB programming cable, which is USB Type-C. So I had to message the seller, and it turns out they do sell a programming cable that's compatible with this particular radio. You've got to ask for it though. It's not on the AliExpress website. They'll send you a link and you pay for it. $7.90 shipping, including shipping should I say. And that arrived in just over a week actually, which I was very surprised about, because I was held up doing this review in that I assumed that the USB-C cable that came in the box with the radio would also be used for programming, but it's not. You do need a prolific chipset based USB Type-C cable to program these radios. What I've done on this second radio is I've now programmed it, and I've programmed these up with the PMR 446 channels for the UK and the EU, so we've got some kind of legality in there. Now what you'll notice is when I actually key up on this radio and look at the 2 screens together there, hopefully you can see this in the sun, you get a real nice little animation running across the display when you're sending. So press the button down, you see one is showing sending chevrons and the other one is showing receiving chevrons. So that's a pretty cool little animation when they're actually working together. And likewise, anything that you receive on the bands comes in with those arrows there. So if I go 1 2 3 4 5, testing 1 2 3, and do the same on this radio, there you go, 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3. What I have noticed is very good audio quality from these radios. I did try them with some other PMR sets, and the audio fidelity on these even is really clear. But anyway, there you go. So we better go out there and test it and see what it actually does in real life. Stay tuned. Right guys, we're on top of the Yorkshire Wolds up here actually. Thought I'd bring the radio out for a bit of a good test really, because we're about 5 or 6 miles from my home location, and my son's got the other radio indoors in the house in his bedroom, so we're hoping for just something like just over line of sight It's a fair old way from here really, but I'm ambitious in that I think the radio might just actually do the trick. But as you can see up here, it's quite a high location. We're just stood in a field really, on a local footpath, and as you can see just over there is a transmitter as well. Now that transmitter used to be used for the police back in Bridlington in the old AM police days. Used to transmit on 152 megahertz, but I think these days it's used for other comms. There's some cellular stuff up there, and there's also I think some local repeaters for something else there for PMR, but these days I don't believe it's used by the police anymore. But I remember listening to them years and years back in the 90s, and when the police used to be unencrypted just on the AM channels. So anyway, there you can see, nice takeoff up here anyway, across the Yorkshire Wolds. A very, very nice little location. And we're going to just try and get this radio test done before it rains, because it's looking a bit cloudy over this way. It's been really warm all week, and as soon as I come out to do a radio test, you know, it's just a thing that happens. The weather always changes. So anyway, I'm going to give my son a shout, see if he's on there on channel 16, PMR 446. So let's have a go at this. So here's the radio. Right, Ross, are you on frequency? We're just doing a radio test.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, nice one. Yeah, how's the radio sounding to you then? 54321 12345.
Sounds really clear.
Ah, that's good. Yeah, you're coming through nice and clear as well. I was just explaining to our viewers that you're just indoors in your bedroom, and no tricks or anything, just standard radio, standard antenna. And yeah, it's all looking really good. I didn't know whether we'd actually be able to make this trip up here or not, because it's beyond line of sight. Obviously we can't see you, and you can't see the house or anything. It's way over the hills, but it's coming through really good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm impressed with him actually. It's unbelievable. I'm just talking at arm's length into the radio, because I'm obviously trying to video this as well at the same time with the camera, so just trying to show everybody the radio working. But they do have quite a good tone quality to them as well. They do sound real crisp and clear.
I like how they feel in your hand as well.
Yeah, I must admit, when I first got these, I was a bit sceptical about whether they'd work or not, because you know, with the low price, and the Chinese radios often claim to have extra power and stuff, but these ones really do seem to be getting out better than the average little handheld. I'm impressed so far anyway. I like it.
Really good.
Yeah, so like I say, I'm just up on the Yorkshire Wolds, sort of between Bridlington and Driffield, I'd say. So I've not exactly measured it to where we are here. Might have to do that on Google Earth when I get back, but I think we're about 5 or 6 miles away, possibly in a straight line, so that's pretty good going really for this tiny little antennas on these radios.
Yeah, it shows just how powerful they actually are.
Yeah, they are really powerful, but yeah, no, I'm really pleased with it. I'm just going to move my antenna around while you talk and just see if I can get the optimum position to get the best signal. So if you can just transmit for a minute, and maybe just do a count of 1 to 10 as I move the antenna, I can then see how good it is.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I got you. No, it was perfect anyway, wherever it was pretty decent that. It just sort of swung round a little bit, but the signal's staying up really. I've just got my antenna pointing straight upwards, or trying to, while I'm holding the camera in the other hand, and that's really good. So yeah, I might have to buy a couple more of these radios. They'll be ideal for when we go on holiday and stuff as well. Now I know how to program them and everything, and we've got the software and that.
Yeah, it should be really good on holiday.
Yeah, nice one. Right, well what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try my other little radio. I've brought the orange Florian radios with me, so I'm just going to try one of them, see if you can hear it at all, and if you can, come back to me. So just give me 1 minute while I switch over the radio, yeah?
Alright, no problem.
Oh, and the other thing we'll do in a second is I've got high power programmed up on 15, but we'll stay on 16 just for a minute while we try this Florian test first, yeah?
Alright.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Florian, which I've got here, and look at that, the lamps come on straight away on this radio, but in my pocket, already wasting the battery down as usual. Right, let's just do that. On my last video, somebody made some comments about disabling the little LED to stop it doing that, but even when the radio's turned off, it can still illuminate, which is really crazy. Right, okay Ross, we're on 16 again, using the Florian. Can you hear me at all? Don't think you can even hear me. Yeah, Ross, can you hear me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just trying the Florian. I'll point the antenna straight up there. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. It's cutting out on the radio, is it? Yeah, it's not quite as powerful, I don't think. Right, let me switch back. Yeah, as you can see, that's not working too well there. Right, so I'm back on the other one now. Is that better?
Yeah, a little better.
Right, anyway, okay, last test then for now. Can you knock it down to channel 15, one down from here? You just press the centre key and then press the down arrow. Go to 15 and let's see if it makes much difference on high power. Because this channel's programmed on low power. I've programmed 15 on high power. Let's see if it makes much difference. So I'm just going to switch down to 15. Right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, can you tell any difference with the signal strength on 15?
Not too much of a difference, I think.
Yeah, I think I just dropped out a bit then as I'm moving the antenna, but I can't tell any difference, can you? It doesn't seem any stronger, does it?
No, I would say it's pretty similar.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar myself. I don't think that the software actually makes much difference. I mean, I've programmed it for high power, and then on 16 I put low power, but to me it's working at the same power level.
Yeah, I'd even say low power is actually better because I'm picking up like more static on this.
Yeah, okay, just go back to 16 then, 1.6, yeah? Right, okay, I'm back on 16. I think that's a bit stronger, don't you?
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's supposed to be high power, unless it's wrong way around in the software or something. But personally, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Looking at the user guide, it said it should show CL for low power on the display and CH for high power. So I was assuming that CH meant channel, like an abbreviation for CH, but CH means high and CL means low. But I don't think the software is actually changing the programming. I think they're in high power.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to do some other tests on that to see, but to me the programming software is doing nothing to change the power level. So that could explain why these are getting out so well. I think they're in high power all the time.
Yeah, it seems like the programming software sometimes does some things and then other times it just ignores it.
Yeah, I think that programming software has been adapted from a different radio, to be honest, because some of the features in it don't work, like the ability to turn the beep off and everything doesn't seem to do anything, yeah? Yeah, well, that's weird anyway, but we'll have to have another look into that. But yeah, anyway, thanks for the radio test. I really appreciate it, and I'll let you get back to whatever you're doing on your computer. But just to let everybody know, you're just indoors in your bedroom, no special antennas, no tricks, and it's just working great, yeah?
Yeah, it's working absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, nice one. Alright then, Ross, I'll catch you a bit later then. Cheers for now then, thanks very much.
No problem. Talk to you later.
Yeah, see you later, cheers. Well, there you go. I think these radios are working in high power, whatever high power might be, because he could hardly hear me on the Florian. He could just about make it out, but it wasn't as good, you know. So I'm just thinking to myself that the programming software completely ignores the low and high power setting, because it ignores some other settings like the beep and everything as well. So that's just crazy. But yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little field test of the radio. That proves it's working well anyway over distance. I mean, they're really good. I'm impressed with them all the same. But yeah. Legality of them for PMR 446 slightly questionable if you can't turn down the power level, but I'm not going to say anything if you don't. But anyway, get yourself onto AliExpress, get some of these, because they are actually pretty decent. So I'll leave it there for now. Back to me, back at home. So conclusions for these KSM3 two-way radios. Well, I really like them. For the price, you can't really complain too much. Nice crisp clear audio on both transmit and receive, excellent modulation. Very slim, in fact they're some of the slimmest two-way radios I've ever reviewed, and the performance is actually better than I thought there would be with the little antennas on top there, so very, very good indeed. There are some limitations though, obviously, as we mentioned in the review, one of them being that you can't tell which channel you're on when it's actually scanning, so you've no idea what it's actually receiving. But that said, if you're looking for a little radio that's compact, that you can throw into a bag or a pocket and just program up the local 70 SEMS repeaters or the odd PMR channel, then you're not going to be too disappointed with these. So in the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to program up these little radios and hopefully help you avoid some of the pitfalls that we came across when trying to do that. The programming software that was supplied to us is very basic, and like I say, some of the functions don't work correctly, such as the key beep and the low and high power. However, if anybody else out there has got these similar radios and they know of any other software that can program these up, then do leave a comment below and let us all know, because I'm sure there's quite a lot of people out there who've bought these. Looking on AliExpress, there were several thousand reviews on these radios and I didn't see any references to the software, so maybe people are just buying them and using them straight out the box, who knows. But I haven't seen any of the software posted around. It may be under a different brand name or something like that, but I'd be very interested to know if anybody else has got any experience of actually programming these up. So anyway, until the next video, take care and look after yourselves, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you very soon again. Bye for now.